Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Athens from here in New York City. My name is Stamos Metzidakis. As you may already know from the conference program as well as from earlier communications, I serve as director of Atiner's Literature Unit and editor of the Athens Journal of Philology. I'm also professor emeritus of French and Comparative Literature at Washington University in St. Louis, and adjunct professor at Hunter College, where I still teach occasional seminars in the graduate French literature program for the City University of New York. As my virtual appearance in this video makes clear, I unfortunately cannot join you today in person for this latest exciting gathering of literary scholars. As someone who suffered a nasty 2-week bout with the coronavirus in March of last year, when serious cases of the illness spiked here in the so-called Big Apple, my pleasure in welcoming you this summer, albeit from afar, is still greater than in the past. For I know that all of you who have come to share your expertise in various aesthetic and critical fields also have a wide range of painful stories and experiences of your own from the last 15 months. Stories you can recount to other international colleagues. As fellow cosmopolitans, you should not hesitate to do so either. That is because, contrary to fake news you may have heard from a now deposed would be American dictator, the real news is that few citizens of the world have escaped some sort of personal sorrow of their own during this unimaginably tragic period of time. Everyone who sees and speaks the truth, regardless of ethnic specificity, of course already recognizes this inescapable fact. Yet those who, like yourselves, regularly study and teach literary history, philology, linguistics, and theory also realize that the wide range of works you will discuss this week often reveal, sometimes perhaps even invent, far less odious aspects and episodes of our collective human experience. For this reason, I feel confident in saying that by coming together as you have today in the birthplace of much Western civilization, each of you contributes in his or her own modest way to the rebirth of a more inclusive, less traumatized global village. As you listen and mingle with colleagues from different parts of the world, my primary hope, therefore, is that the important intellectual contacts and equally precious emotional ties you form here will ultimately help to make people everywhere else on the planet not just wiser. My wish is that they might also make everyone everywhere more attuned to the myriad existential situations, problems, and questions we share. After all, the insights provided by our polymorphous canons and texts continually point to an ever growing set of more or less universally shared realities. Now, I realize this might strike some as an anachronistic and theoretically problematic statement. It is too bad as a result I can't debate it with you in person. Yet your presence there today attests to an implicit belief in the power of what we might properly call literary communion. Rest assured that the latter phrase conjures up no particular religion or ideology for me personally. Rather, it suggests a commitment to a free exchange not just of individual opinions about how a piece of literature works, about what it signifies about society, why and when it was produced, and so on. It implies instead that beyond any professional or pecuniary motives you have to be here now, as the American yogi and countercultural hero Baba Ram Dass put it back in 1971, the simple truth is that literature conferences such as ours serve no bigger purpose than to bring us together, to live side by side, in other words, for a few special moments near, or ideally even within, the otherwise infinitely heterogeneous fictive universes we inhabit. That is why, to conclude this brief and surely inadequate welcome, you must assume, alas, that being on the other side of the Atlantic this morning, I myself have not fulfilled one of the principal purposes of our conference. I fully trust that your own cordial and thought provoking interventions will more than make up for my absence, however. So, as the Greeks like to say, Yasas kestokalo, best of health to everyone and take good care of yourselves. And all best wishes from my area of the United States for yet another successful Atiner meeting.